on one side and then your Sublime text on one side. If you don't know how to do that, you can just click on the Windows button and your arrow key together, either the left or right arrow key. So it's going to split your screen for you. So I'm assuming you have your browser on one side and then your Sublime text on one side. So now you right click on your folder and then you create a new file. To save it, um, hold on Control S and then you save it as anything you want to save it as, but make sure it has an extension of HTML. So this is how you do it. Let's say home.html. Sorry, this is a mistake. Is everyone there with me? Okay, so on your screen, right click on your page inside the Sublime text, and then you should see an option with open in browser. Click on the option and then it should open up your link on your browser. So basically you should have your page on one side and the browser preview on the other side. So basically on HTML we have obviously the computer does not really understand everything you just put into your website. So we actually need things to actually differentiate or to tell the system what is what and what a particular thing is actually supposed to do. So first of all, these things in HTML are actually called tags. So this is basically how tags are actually defined. First of all, you have a lesser than sign, then the name of your tag. The first tag we're going to look at is HTML. You have the name of the tag, and then you close the tag. Sorry, you close the tag with a greater than sign. This is basically called an opening tag. To close this tag, we need another lesser than sign, a forward slash, the name of the tag, and then a greater than sign to close it. So basically, anything in between this tag, the browser recognizes it as part of this tag, part of this HTML tag. If you want to start a new one, if you want to start a new tag, you need to start up a new tag in the next line after the closing tag. But basically, on a web page, you can only have one HTML tag on a web page, on a particular page. You understand what I'm trying to say? Basically, have a particular, like just one, you basically have to have just one HTML tag in a page. So this is basically the first tag you're going to be looking at. So we're not going to be able to look at everything, but we're going to look at the most important ones and what you're actually going to be using the most in the the major part of this course. So basically, we have the HTML tag. The next one we're going to look at is the title tag. We have the title tag. This title tag is actually, should I say, one of the easiest things to actually use because it does not really have much doesn't really have much to do like that. The only thing it does is to show you what comes up here. As you can see on our browser, the title you're seeing here is the name of the page. So let's say we want to name this page, let's say training. So the name of this okay, let's say training page. So you are naming the page training page. Once we save it and then we go back to our web page and we refresh, you can see the name of the page has changed. So basically, this is basically the first thing you're going to learn as a website developer. And aside this, everything in here, another thing you're going to look at is the head tag. You also have the head tag. Now, on a normal day, the title tag is always inside the head tag. And whatever it is you have inside this head tag does not actually show on your main website. This basically has to, from the name head, basically it basically has to do with the title, maybe the preview of your link. If you create a link, the preview, how the preview comes out, or you want to link like a CSS page, which I'm actually still going to get to, a CSS page into your website. So this is basically what it's for. Everything on the head tag is actually not supposed to show on your main website. So that is basically what the head tag is for. Then the next one you're going to look at is the body tag. We have the body tag. From the name, this is kind of obvious too. everything on this body tag is what is actually going to show on your main website. So we are going to look at a couple of tags also. We have the H1 tag, which is basically the header tag. We have from H1 to H6. We have from H1 to H6. Now the number beside the H on the right hand side of the H actually determines the size of the fonts of your heading. For example, H1, let's say header 1. If you save it and come back to your main page and then refresh, you can see we have a dark, like a bold dark text here showing header 1. Now let's look at how the second one is. H2, header 2, H3, H4. We also have H5. And then we also have H6. This is basically the last one of it all. Okay. 6. So let's come back to our website and then refresh. You can see how it actually goes. From header 1 is actually the boldest and the largest one. Header 2 is it's slightly smaller. Same with header 3, header 4, header 5, and header 6. So the higher the number, the smaller the text of the header. So next I'm going to show you the paragraph tag, which is defined by just the letter P. This P actually stands for the paragraph tag. Open and close, if you can remember, this actually stands for the opening tag, and this stands for the closing tag. So now, like, anything you put in between this tag actually just signifies, like, it shows the browser that is actually part of this particular tag. So let's type in something. Let's just type in a random word. Let's say welcome to my first web class. So basically, this is what we're actually having inside the tag. Let's say, for example, we want to add any other text inside of this and then refresh. So first of all, this is what the tag does. The tag basically gives space before and after the previous line, and then after the previous line. You understand? Sorry, after the main line. So you have space in between. Okay, let me copy and paste this, and then just a couple of times, and then refresh. You can see everything is just on the same line. It's actually just continuing the line as if it's actually like just one line. So that is what it does without the P tag. With the P tag, the browser can actually recognize that, okay, this is actually a new paragraph. You understand? Let me remove this P tag without closing it. After removing this tag, you can see the browser actually assumes that every other thing under this class still exists within the P tag. So it treats everything under the P tag as part of the P tag. So everything is actually inside. But now let's close it back. Sorry. / and P. Save. Come back to our browser and refresh. You can see it has added back the extra space. So let's say, for example, we want this to actually like start on the next line. We want everything from here to actually start from the next line. We actually have something we call a break tag. Now the break tag actually comes in different form. You can actually see it in different form. You can just see it's actually the BR tag. BR, then close. If you save this, it's actually going to work. Now, once we get into the advanced part of this, and you like the advanced part of this course, and then you use this particular tag, it will actually not work. It will give you an error, because this tag is actually one of the things we call a closing, like a self-closing tag. It does not have an opening tag. It does not have an opening tag. It does not have a closing tag. So it's actually closes itself. So how do you close a self-closing tag? Like, you can actually add a space. You don't need to, but you have to make sure after the tag name you add a / before the closing greater than sign. Save it, and the browser will recognize it. Like when we get to the advanced part of this, if you're having an error here, the error will actually disappear from here. So far, so good. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.
I'm
Yeah, for
trying to
Max.
refresh my. It's not refreshing.
You said what?
It's not coming up now. I'm trying to make my brother show my alarm, but it's not coming up at all.
Can you screenshot your can you
Good.
yeah. Are you did you follow the exact thing we're actually doing? Like the exact process we're actually doing?
Yes. Well, how do I now open my brother?
Okay, like I said, you right click on your Sublime text, you will see an option open in browser. Can you see that?
I right click on my sublime text.
Yeah.
Which part did I right click on?
And anywhere on your Sublime text, on the page itself. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's submitted.
Okay. So I'm guessing we are on the same page now. Do you have any questions so far?
Not at all, not yet. Let me catch up.
All right, no problem. So let's continue though. So sorry. Now going back to the page, going back to our website page, we also have a couple of tags also. Like I said, we have the BR tag, which is the self-closing tag. What the BR actually does is to tell the browser to break the line. Wherever it is we are, wherever it is we added the BR tag, it is actually supposed to tell the browser to shift whatever is there, like whatever is after wherever that tag is to the next line. So let's assume, okay. So for once again, we have our page without the BR tag, our paragraph I mean without the BR tag. Now let's say we wanted to break from here, from this class, and then the way we normally break our regular tag, like our regular maybe file or text file, by typing enter or by inputting enter. This won't work. This will not work because the browser doesn't see it as the browser doesn't recognize this as a next line or a next paragraph. It actually still sees it as part of part of the same line. So for you to be able to like separate this, you actually need to the BR tag is very important in this kind of scenario. And like I said, the BR tag is a self-closing tag, just one of it. So let's say in an instance where you don't want to use, maybe you are like you don't want to use a p tag for a new paragraph, but you need more space this between this and the next line. You need more space between this and the next line. Basically, all you just need to do is just to add an extra BR tag, self-closing tag, save it, refresh. It adds an extra space for you. So that being said, um, we also have hold on. We also have the link tag. We have the A tag, which is basically an hyperlink tag. So what the A tag does basically is to it actually enables us to link one page to another page. You understand? So let's say we have okay. First of all, before we do this, let's create a new page. On the folder where you have the folder name, right click on it and then create a new file. Save it as, let's say, page 2. Page 2 .html. You have page 2.html. So basically, like I said, we have the A tag. We have the A tag. Now this A tag actually helps us link more than a page together. You can actually use this also for let's say you want to link an external website to your website also. This actually helps also. So now we have the A tag. Now aside from having tags, we also have things that we call attributes. Now these attributes are things that um, actually makes us define our tags. For example, let's say you want to, for example, you have a p tag, you have more than one p tag in your website, and you need to specify. Let's say when you're trying to style your web page in the CSS file, you need to specify a specific like p tag to pick out for that styling. Attribute helps us to um, get the properties of the tag itself, and aside from the properties of the tag, it also helps us get the it also helps us define what is what. Now, for example, the a tag has its own attributes. For example, the a tag has it has an href. Now, the href basically is where you put the link to the next page. Now, we're trying to link to page 2. The name of our page is basically page 2. You add the link to the page here, page 2.html. Then let's say the name wants like whatever it is, wants to like name the link. You add it in between the a tag. So let's say we want to name it page 2. You save the project, and then we come back to the browser and then save. Sorry. You come back to the browser and save. But first of all, let's add a subheading basically. So let's use h2 and add links. So at least it's a bit more organized. We refresh our page, and then we have links. Then we have our page 2. If you click on this page 2, based on the fact that we already defined the href, it's basically going to take us to our page 2. So just to make sure that there's actually something in the page 2, let's just come here, copy, or Control A to copy, to highlight, or the Control C to copy. Control V to paste. Go to page 2. Control V to paste. You can delete every one of this. And just the H1. You can leave the H1, and then leave it as let's name it as page 2. So we actually know we're on the right page. Refresh the page, and then we have what we want. But yeah, we don't want this to be named page 2. We want this to be named home page. Then we want what else? Okay. Then we need to change the name of the link also to the link of the home page, which is home.html. So when we click on the link, it knows where to go. Save. Come back here and refresh. You can see we have the home page. Click on this, it goes back to the home page. Click on the page 2, it goes back to the page 2. So basically, it's actually that easy. Now we still have a couple of more, we still have a couple of tags. So also we can also use in an HTML page. We have a div tag. So before we go into the div tag, let me show you how you can bring out lists. You can actually you can actually list out things inside an HTML. So let's say we have more than one link, right? Let's say we have more than one page and we have more than one link. Then you want to display everything in a page. Now, for you to do that, we have what we call ordered list and then unordered list. Now, I'm going to show you an example of the two. For ordered list, the tag name is OL. Now, for you to specify your list, this is basically just going to like group all your link in a particular place. So now for the ordered list, for you to list out maybe let's say your link or your text, you actually have let's say you also have the li, which means list basically. You have the li tag which means list. So let's say lists, list 1, and just copy and paste this. So we have list 2. Oh, sorry. So we have list 2, 3, and 4. So we have this 4 list. This is an ordered list. Okay, sorry, this is on page 2. So we go to our page 2 and you can see our ordered list here. So you can see our ordered list here. And then, sorry. So you can see our ordered list. The ordered list automatically numbers all your lists for you. So you know which one is which one. This is our index list, the second one, the third one, and then the last one. Now for unordered list, it's basically UL. Then we have the li link, the li tag. So let's do basically the same thing. You can copy from here and paste it down. I'm just trying to show you the difference between the two links. So we have our unordered list here. Okay. Now this is an unordered list, and this is the ordered list. If you can see, like, the ordered list actually has number. Basically, the unordered list basically are just bulletin. You don't need to like display the numbers. Maybe you don't want to display the position of each list. You can just display just bulletin. Later, I'm going to show you how you can remove all this or change it to whatever it is you want later in the class, but not for this particular training though. So we have this. So let us change. Let us put our link inside a list. We have the inside the li. Sorry. So inside our li, we have an a tag. You can remove all this. Then let's say copy and paste this. Just let's say 2 more times. Now you can change the link. Let's say this is page 2. Sorry, let's say page 3. Then page 4. Now the reason why we are not putting in page 2 here is because you're already inside page 2. So you don't need to add the same link of the same page you are in currently inside the same page. You understand? We refresh this and we should have this. Now don't forget to add the link to each page. We already have an home page here. Okay, let's remove this one. I'm sorry. Let's remove this rather. So we have home page. We have page 3.html. Then we have page 4.html. Now let's create these pages inside our folder. New file. Save. Page 4. Sorry, page 2. Sorry, page 3.html. Then also page 4. That's page 4.html. So we have our 2 pages here. You can copy and paste what you have on page 2. And copy and paste what you have on page 2. Control A to highlight all, and then Control C to copy. You can paste it here, and then come here. We change this to page 3, so we know what page we are on. Then on this, currently we are on page 3, so we don't need page 3 anymore on this page. So we can just change this one to page 2 and change the link back to page 2. Then on page 4, you leave page 4 the way it is. And then on the title, you can also change the name of the title based on the page you are on rather. So you have page 3. You're on page 3 right now. You can change this one to page 2. Since this is on page 2. Now on page 4, we paste in the same program. You leave page 3 the way it is. So in fact, we're not in page 3, then change this one. So you can change this to page 3. And change this to page 3, and then this to page 2. So it is actually ordered. Now we come to our page, and then we refresh. We have our home page. Click on this, go to our home page. Click on this. Click on this to go to page 3, as you can see. Click on page 4 to go to page 4. Sorry, we didn't change the name. Change the name of this to page 4. And you can change the title also to page 4. Refresh this. As you can see, page 4, and then we have our page. So basically, that is how you create a website page, and then you link one page to a different one in HTML basically. So basically, you have your first website page. This is all they're actually going to do for today. Then tomorrow we have another class. You can also join in on that. So if you have